Hey everyone, I'm Taylor and I just spent a semester abroad in Granada, Spain. Now, after going through the whole preparation process to study abroad, I will be the first to tell you it can be a little overwhelming and honestly just kind of daunting with all of the steps there are and things you have to do to actually get to your location of study abroad. So I want to spend the next few weeks really diving into how to do that. So last week I talked all about choosing a program because there are so many options out there, especially if you're studying abroad as a university student like I did. And then next week we'll talk about packing. But this week I really want to talk about all of those little miscellaneous steps that can sometimes get totally lost in the process and can be totally forgotten if you don't pay attention to them. So we're going to be talking about everything from the day you decide on a program to the day you actually leave for said program. So if you guys enjoy this video, be sure to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. I appreciate it so much, and let's go ahead and jump right in. First things first, and probably the most important step I will talk about in this video. Now this one your program will not let you forget about, but that is a visa. For most study abroad programs, because they are long-term, you are going to need a visa. Again, not always, but most of the time. For example, for me, I'm an American, I went to Spain. Usually Americans do not need a visa to visit Spain. However, because my program was more than 90 days, I needed to go to the embassy in DC, get an appointment, blah, 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 and actually get a proper visa. So one tip I do want to throw in here is to bring literally everything you could possibly need to your visa appointment, even if you are not explicitly told to bring it. So this includes like bank statements, those are a big one, acceptance letters from the school or program that you are with. Insurance can also be great. I think I already mentioned bank statements, copies of every ID imaginable because they will need, I think like 2 forms of ID is what I needed. I don't know. There are so many things that go into it. And again, it depends on where you're from and where you're going. So that's a lot on the visa side, but just make sure you are super thorough with your research about visas. And now we're going to move on to the rest of the tips in this video because I promise they're going to be a little more straightforward than this. Now, for any university students out there studying abroad for a semester, be sure to cancel any year-long contracts you have with your university. Most notably, this is going to be your housing plan and your meal plan if you have those. So for example, a lot of times when you commit to a program through the study abroad office, that does not mean they're going to notify your housing or dining or parking spots if you have one, whatever, that you're going abroad. So you need to make sure that you follow the proper steps, go into each different area's website and formally cancel your plan for whatever semester you're going to be gone. Next up, check the courses that you want to take. Even if your program gives you a full list of every course that's ever been offered, not every single one will be available during the time you're abroad. So it's really important to confirm that and also have some backup options because chances are you will have like a problem in your schedule where there's like some courses overlapping or whatnot and you can't take 2 at the same time. So make sure you have backup options in case something like that does happen. So that way you have plenty of courses that you can take and you know you want to take and are just thrown into something random. Next up, let's talk about insurance. It's so important to have a good insurance company and a good insurance plan while you're abroad. So be sure that you have that insurance plan, read all the terms and conditions before you go, make sure you have your insurance card, and while you're abroad, save any receipts that you could possibly need reimbursed for. For example, if you get sick and you go to buy a medicine or pay to go to the doctor and your insurance company is going to reimburse you for that, make sure you save all of those receipts so you can send them in later and get your money back. Next up, if you take any medications, be sure to talk to your doctor and get a prescription that will last for the duration of your period abroad because it is just such a hassle to get prescription medications from a doctor in another country. That can just be a hassle all around, and a lot of times the medicine that you need might not be available or might not be available in the specific form or dosage that you need. Bonus points also here if you get a letter from your doctor saying who you are, who they are, and what medicine you are taking, just in case you have any problems with it at customs, especially again, if that medicine is not typically distributed in the country that you're visiting. Next up, let's talk about finances. There's so many things to think about here. So I just want to give a quick rundown of a couple things that you could do to be financially prepared for your semester abroad. First and foremost, make a budget. If you don't know how much to budget, what to budget for, I have quite a few videos on this channel talking about how much I spent, what I spent it on, etc. So I'll link all of those down below for you. Number 2, be sure to get some of the local currency before you arrive. There's so many different ways to do this, whether you want to go to an actual like cash exchange at the airport, but be aware those typically do have higher fees, or if you just want to go through your bank, a lot of banks will have a process where you can order that currency online and get it shipped right to your house. Number 3, inform your bank of your travel plans just so your card does not get marked as fraud and shut down when you start trying to use it on the other side of the world. Also, don't forget to learn about any international transaction fees or foreign ATM fees that your card may have, because if you're not aware of those, they will add up over time. And finally, be sure to always have more than one form of payment available. So typically this means having cash and card on you at all times, or if you use Apple Pay on your phone, be sure to also have a physical credit card or cash with you. Better yet, all 3. It's also a good idea to make a list of emergency contacts, both on your phone and a physical copy that you can put in your wallet or your bag, whatever. So not just the local emergency number, but anything else like contact info for your host family, your resident directors on the ground there, information if you get locked out of your dorm, for example. There are endless possibilities of things you could put on this list, but it is important to know those people who you can reach out to on the ground there if you need anything. Don't forget to make copies of all of your important documents, so not just your passport and visa, but also any other forms of ID, insurance cards, proof of acceptance to your program abroad, etc. You never know what situation you could need them in, so it's really important to have both photocopies scanned on your phone as well as physical copies. I had a couple physical copies, and I would put like one in my purse, one in my backpack, one in my suitcase, so wherever you are, you always have one with you, and again, you never know when you could need them. Next up, don't forget to figure out a phone plan, whether you want to do an eSIM, buy a physical SIM card when you get there, or figure out an international plan with your current phone provider. There's also probably other options on here I don't know about. I would talk about this, but honestly, I had a very confusing experience with this, and I don't know anything regarding SIM cards, but make sure you have a phone plan. Just gonna throw that out there. For anyone out there who's going to live with a host family, this is not required, but it's always a kind gesture to bring some gifts for them. My go-to gift idea, literally for anyone, is always food, sweets, candies, etc. But you can also do, of course, like souvenirs or just any local products that are made in your home country or hometown. Again, not only a nice gesture for your host family, but it also will show them a little bit of where you're from and give them something to think about you after your time together. Next up, do a little bit of research about where you're going. What is your daily life realistically going to look like? What are the daily lives, routines, schedules of the people who live there? And are there any cultural customs or norms? Are there any, holidays or big celebrations during the time while you are there in wherever you may be? What are some spots in the city that you want to go to, or different cultural activities that you want to try? Also, this is a good time to look into if there are any extracurriculars you want to join while you're there, or any sort of clubs or organizations that you want to get involved with in the community, because some of those you do need to reach out ahead of time and say, hey, I'm an exchange student, I want to join these, especially if you're going just for a semester like I did, because some of those can be year-long commitments unless you reach out ahead of time and explain your situation and that you want to be there just for a little bit. Now that you've learned a little bit about what things are going to look like for you in the city that you're actually going to, take some time to research a little bit about the logistical side of travel. Is there an airport where you are? How are you going to get to the airport? Or is it like Granada, where it's best to take a bus to the airport in Malaga, which is a much bigger airport? Also, do you need visas? And are the luggage restrictions different in the different places that you're going? Such as like in Europe, the carry-on size, particularly for Ryanair, is definitely a lot smaller than in the US. So if you're planning on bringing like a suitcase, maybe research if you need to buy a different one, etc. Make a packing list. Please do not just try to wing it on the last day or two before you go, because when you're packing for a longer amount of time, you're going to need more random miscellaneous stuff that you typically wouldn't need to bring just for a trip that's a few nights. And a packing list is also great because it allows you to visualize everything, especially because you will be worried about space and you will be tempted to overpack, at least if you're like me. So seeing everything out in front of you is really important to visualizing things, and it allows you to see what you do need, what you don't need, and what you're missing. Then you actually have to pack, which at least for me, I did not enjoy. I just don't like packing for trips in general, but you gotta do it. And again, stay tuned for next week's video because I'll be breaking down my whole packing process, everything I brought, etc. And last but certainly not least, it's so important to check the charges on your school account a few days before you leave and make sure they are all paid off, because they can come back and cause some problems for you while you're abroad if you're trying to do anything on the academic side, like sign up for classes for the next year at your home university, because if you don't have those fees paid, you could be prevented from doing certain things like that. And sometimes it can just be a hassle to try to pay those things while you're abroad. So always a good idea to check those fees before you leave. And there you go. Those are all the steps you need to take from the day you decide to study abroad to the day you actually leave for said study abroad. I know that was a ton of information, but I hope you took something away from it. If you're watching this and you're about to study abroad, I'm so excited for you. I hope you have the best time. Make sure you're subscribed for next week's video, because I will be talking all about packing, what you need to pack, how to pack, etc. And if you missed last week's video and are still trying to figure out how to study abroad and haven't yet chosen a program, then I think that will really help you out. So I'll link it down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching again. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you all next week. Bye.